Healing yourself, mentally. Certain fundamental truths must be understood and accepted from the outset. Here are some of these truths. Health is defined by the natural performance of bodily functions, which in turn arises from the inherent action of the principle of life. There exists a principle of life within the universe, which is the one living substance from which everything originates. This living substance permeates and fills the spaces throughout the universe, existing in and through all entities, much like a highly refined and diffusible ether. All life is derived from it, and its life encompasses all existing life. Human beings are a manifestation of this living substance and possess within them a source of health. When this source of health is fully active, it ensures that all voluntary functions of life are performed optimally. It is this source of health within individuals that is responsible for all healing, regardless of the system or remedy used. This source of health is activated through certain types of thinking. I will now demonstrate the validity of this assertion. It is widely acknowledged that various methods, often contradictory, are employed in different fields of medicine to achieve healing. The allopath, who administers a strong dose of an antidote, successfully treats his patient, while the homeopath, who prescribes a minute dose of a substance similar to the disease, also effects a cure. If allopathy is capable of curing a specific ailment, then homeopathy cannot have cured that ailment. Conversely, if homeopathy has successfully treated a condition, allopathy cannot have done so either. The two approaches are fundamentally opposed in their principles and methods, yet both claim to cure many illnesses. Moreover, even within a single medical tradition, the remedies prescribed by different practitioners can vary significantly. Take a case of indigestion to 6 different doctors, and it is quite possible that none of their prescriptions will share the same components. Should we not conclude that patients are healed by an inherent principle of health within themselves, rather than by the diverse remedies prescribed? Additionally, we observe that the same ailments are healed by various practitioners. The osteopath through spinal manipulations, the faith healer via prayer, the food scientist with dietary recommendations, the Christian scientist with structured belief statements, the mental scientist using affirmations, and the hygienists with different lifestyle approaches. What conclusion can we draw from these observations, if not that there exists a universal principle of health common to all individuals, which is responsible for all healings? Furthermore, it appears that each of these systems, when given the right conditions, can activate this principle of health. In essence, medications, manipulations, prayers, dietary plans, affirmations, and hygienic methods are effective only when they stimulate the principle of health into action, and they fail when they do not. Doesn't all this suggest that healing outcomes are more reliant on the patient's perception of the remedy than on the specific ingredients of a treatment? There is an ancient tale that serves as an excellent illustration of this point, and I will recount it here. It is said that during the Middle Ages, the bones of a saint, housed in a monastery, were believed to have miraculous healing powers. On certain days, large crowds of the afflicted would gather to touch these relics, and all who did so were said to be healed. However, on the eve of one such occasion, a sacrilegious thief managed to access the case containing the miraculous bones and stole them. The following morning, as the usual throng of sufferers waited at the gates, the monks discovered they had lost the source of their miraculous power. They decided to keep the incident under wraps, hoping to find the thief and recover the stolen relics. In a hurry, they went to the convent's cellar and unearthed the bones of a murderer who had been buried there many years prior. They placed these bones in the case, planning to invent a reasonable excuse for the saint's apparent inability to perform miracles that day, and then they welcomed the waiting assembly of the sick and disabled. To the astonishment of those in the know, the bones of the criminal proved to be just as effective as those of the saint, and the healing continued as before. One of the monks is said to have chronicled this event, admitting that he believed the true healing power had always resided within the people themselves, rather than in the bones. Regardless of the story's truth, the conclusion pertains to all the cures produced by various methods. The healing power resides within the patient. Its activation is not determined by the physical or mental techniques employed, but rather by the patient's mindset regarding these techniques. There exists a universal principle of life, as Jesus imparted, a profound spiritual healing energy, and a health principle within humanity that is connected to this healing energy. This principle can either lie dormant or be actively engaged, depending on an individual's mindset. By adopting a specific way of thinking, one can always activate it. Your recovery is not contingent upon adopting a particular system or discovering a specific remedy. Individuals with the same conditions as yours have found healing through various systems and treatments. It is not influenced by climate. In every climate, some individuals thrive while others remain unwell. Similarly, your vocation does not determine your health, except in cases where individuals are exposed to toxic environments. People can be healthy in all occupations. Your path to recovery relies on your ability to think and act in a specific manner. A man's perspective on situations is shaped by his beliefs about them. His thoughts are influenced by his faith, and the outcomes rely on how he personally applies that faith. If an individual trusts in the effectiveness of a particular medicine and effectively applies that belief to himself, he is likely to be healed. However, even with strong faith, he will not experience healing unless he takes that belief to heart. Many individuals may have faith in healing for others but struggle to believe in it for themselves. Similarly, if someone believes in a specific diet and effectively applies that belief, it can lead to healing. Likewise, if he has faith in prayers or affirmations and applies that faith personally, those practices can also bring about healing. Personal application of faith is crucial for healing. Irrespective of how profound the faith or how consistent the thoughts may be, healing will not occur without that personal engagement. Consequently, the science of being well encompasses both thought and action. To achieve wellness, it isn't sufficient for a person to think in a certain manner. He must also apply his thoughts to himself and demonstrate that belief through actions that reflect his thoughts.